Hello, humans. At least I hope somebody. Well, we'll see if anyone shows up. Blah. My mouth doesn't work today. So today we're going to continue working on moving my WordPress page that's been live for 10 or 12 or maybe even longer than that years. And it has many articles on it. So I want to move everything to Gatsby so it's easier to work with. I have more ability to tinker and to experiment and just generally have a page that works better and loads better in various different browsers and stuff, and is just faster because the current one is slow and terrible, and I've been meaning to change it for many years, so I've started working on that now. I got, since last time when we did a stream with the same title, I've gotten Gatsby to actually build my page, and most importantly, I got an online provider of hosting to be able to load the page, which is super important because otherwise it doesn't make sense to keep trying to port this. So on Gatsby Cloud, I was able to get it built and I'm able to click around. At least oh, that worked yesterday. Okay, so it kind of stopped working on the online version, but the version I have locally should be working. So if you go to /blog, you get all of the blog posts I've ever written, which obviously is going to need some work to be better and more useful. And then when you click through, you get a nice blog post with all of the links working and everything seems to be working fine. So today I'm going to fix a couple of remaining issues that I need to fix before I can make this actually live and go on production. The first and most important thing I need to do is add a under construction GIF of some sort to my main homepage, because I'm going to replace the existing homepage that I have with this one. So I'm going to have an under construction GIF because those GIFs are fun. So if we go to source pages, index page, here I'm going to add a title called Swizzets Geek with a Hat, because that is an old, I guess that's something I still use. So we have Swizzets, a geek with a hat. We'll see if it manages to update. If this doesn't manage to update, I'm going to have trouble. Okay, so it worked. And Max Joette, hey Max, asks how much I'm running these days. I'm actually running every day. So because I can't go to the boxing gym, I run literally every day, which means that during quarantine, I'm actually spending more time outside during the quarantine than I did before. And Eduardo asks if I already migrated to Gatsby. Yes. Last time I kind of migrated to Gatsby. Now I need to make it actually work and be useful in production. So I'm calling the stream has the same title, but we're now doing the actual migration or whatever. Basically fixing a couple more things before I can actually go live with this. And max, I'm not sure how many miles it is. It ends up being a couple. So probably maybe 30-40 miles per week, something like that. Let's see if this will work. Giphy and under construction. Will that show up? Come on. Please show up. So that's supposed to work. There we go. Giphy under construction. Yes. Homepage under construction, visit /blog for the latest, for my latest writings. For my latest writings, and here we can say under construction, and for some reason on localhost this stops working. I don't know why it stops working, but it does. I'm also going to make this centered. So we're going to say box. Let's see, can we say text align equals center and dim and box. Let's see if that makes the homepage work. I thought you were already on Gatsby. Yes. Everyone thinks I'm already on Gatsby. I'm not on Gatsby yet. I got the basic import kind of working on Gatsby. Now I need to make it actually work on Gatsby, like actually be able to do stuff. And in terms of what I'm using for my posts, Eduardo, I'm going to be writing them in IA Writer and doing so IA Writer and then just publishing via GitHub. So I have an integration with GitHub that kind of works, and that's going to be my yeah, I blogged a lot about Gatsby, but I haven't actually moved to Gatsby yet. Why is this doesn't work well? So let's do box width equals 1, 1, and 1/3, and we're going to say that the margin equals auto, and that should make it move. I'm not sure why MDX stopped working here. That's kind of annoying. And apparently this is not very conducive to live coding because it's kind of acting funny. Let's do 2/3 width. That should be better for my latest writings. Okay, so we have that. Swizzet's a geek with a hat, homepage under construction. Wonderful. That works. The GIF for under construction is going to actually show up when I deploy this. I don't know why it stops working sometimes. I need to fix my Gatsby plugin for Giphies. Git status, git commit -a-m, basic homepage. Then we go to /blog and we start messing around there. So that's going to be this one here. Each one, let's go with Suzette Stellar, a geek with a hat, because I really like that approach. Suzette's a geek with a hat. Will this manage to update? Why is this taking so long to update? There we go. Suzette's a geek with a hat. Let's make every article listing also show the description, not just so right now we have the title and the date. Let's also add a description, which, oh, I thought we did. Why do they not have descriptions? So if we open my favorite lessons from Pragmatic Programmer, the description here is empty. That's annoying. Okay, so they don't have descriptions. What happens if I add a description and say this is a description of my 5 lessons? Let's see if that shows up under here. It should show up. Come on. Show up, reload, re-render, do something. This is gonna be troublesome. And I have a lot of errors here that are just not. Each child should have a key, should have a unique prop. That's true, they should all have a unique prop. Oh, and now because I added the description to the front matter, it doesn't reload, but if I restart Gatsby, we're gonna have a problem. But let's try restarting Gatsby anyway. And here, when we are listing the article listings, we should give them a key. So for their key, we can use key equals props dot, let's see what's a good one. Maybe the title could be a prop. Yeah, that could be an okay prop, but they might repeat. Slugify. Let's try. I think there's a Slugify thing. npm Slugify. So I need to add keys to make Gatsby to make React happy. Those keys are going to come from Slugify, which is pretty good. Yarn add Slugify, and as soon as I reinstall that, I'm going to restart Gatsby because that part takes a little while. We're going to import Slugify from Slugify. And the cool thing here is, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm writing this in a markdown file or an MDX file, and I'm using JavaScript static queries with Gatsby and everything, even though I'm writing stuff as markdown, which is really cool. So we are slugifying props.title, like that. Then we say yarn start. That's going to take a little while. And while that's happening, what can we do? We can start by writing. Should I have an introduction here of some sort? That could be useful potentially. Let's see. Do I feel like writing that right now, or should I just work on technical issues? Let's say, hi, I'm Swizets, and I write. No. Here we're going to say an introduction comes here, talking about why you should read this shit. Why you should read this stuff. Read this shit. Stuff. Let's go with stuff, because people don't like the word shit sometimes. An introduction comes here, talking about why you should read this stuff, and introducing moi, the author, and introducing me. Okay, cool. There should be a sign up, an email sign up form too. Okay, we're gonna do that next. So one thing I've noticed is that the Gatsby remark embedder isn't working. So I'm gonna go into Gatsby config. Here you see this is a massive thing that I wrote. That's potentially not the best idea, because it makes Gatsby take forever to actually start up, but it's a pretty cool one. So Gatsby remark embedder, do I have it? Yes. Resolve Gatsby remark embedder. Let's go look at the config for that. Remark embedder. As you can see, Gatsby is still starting up. I said that's gonna take a while, and it is actually gonna take a while. So let's see, what do I need to be able to embed Twitter? Do I need any other, I potentially need other plugins. The returned HTML snippet from the Twitter transformer will only be automatically recognized as an embedded tweet when Twitter's widget JavaScript is included on the page. Gatsby plugin Twitter. Okay, let's add that. Yarn add Gatsby plugin Twitter. Cool. Now we're gonna have to restart Gatsby again, which is again gonna take a while. Not a fan of that. But let's see. So yarn start. Now the next problem I have is that here you see I have a hero image that is stored relatively. It's relative to the what was I gonna say? It's relative to the URL, to the page that the actual article is on. So I have, each article is a directory. Actually, I can show you how that works. So let's open this. No, come on. Yeah, there we go. So if I go into websites, swizets.com, and we look at source pages, then blog has many pages in the blog. So if we go to my Barcamp Ljubljana report, that's old, my blog, my brain, wow. I talk about my a lot. So each article is a directory that has an index.mdx, that's the actual markdown file for the article, and then it has an image directory with all of the images. So if we look at the hero for this is I2LW3TC, which is this guy here, or this image here. So now I have to make sure that hero images get correctly linked for social, for the social stuff. Now, how do I do that? So what we can try, so that's gonna happen in head.js here, where we have the props. So the URL is already wrong. I should probably fix that URL. And then the image that goes into the Twitter image and the Open Graph image stuff needs to have a full absolute URL. So how do we get that? That is the question, isn't it? And as soon as this starts up, I'll be able to show you what the problem is. Thanks, ES Python. I'm happy you're liking what I have so far. I really think this is going to be a much better block than what I have right now. I just need to figure out a couple of these small details and issues, and then I can go live. Now the problem is that I'm still waiting for this to start up, and that makes it very difficult to actually test anything. But what I can do is, let's go look at Gatsby plugins. Gatsby plugins, and there might be something there that will help. Gatsby plugins. Wow, that just died. What? Okay, Gatsby plugin library. So if we go, let's see, what do we have any Gatsby remark social cards? That looks cool. Gatsby remark social image cards. Awesome. So those look automatically generated social cards to your Gatsby blog posts. That is exactly what I need. That looks great. So we should look at how this one works. Meta tags in your blah, 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 much configuration. Okay, so that's gonna be something potentially useful. And this looks like the same one. Remark Twitter cards. These guys look okay, so we're gonna have to play around with this a little bit. But what we can do, Gatsby plugin social card, current status beta. I don't know how to pronounce that. These ones look really cool too. Okay, so what I can do, let's look at the implementation of this plugin and see. So I'm gonna look at the implementation of this plugin and get an idea for what we can do about our images. Because some of the blogs, some of the articles already have hero images, some don't, and I need to make sure that they all do. Ideally, I want to generate a good default. I don't have to worry about that right now. Right now, I just need to make sure that what's already defined is going to actually work. So Gatsby remark, oh, are they all the same? Why is this plugin here like a million times? So if we go to source, index.js, cool, write text to card, generate background, validate font size, module exports, markdown node front matter, output path join. Ah, yes. That's what we're gonna do. We're going to have, is that going to slow down my article generation even more? Okay, so it's gotten to the point where it's loading the plugins, and hopefully because I didn't delete .cache, it's going to be quick to actually start up the Gatsby development server. But it looks like the way this guy, or the way this plugin works, is that it's, yeah, it seems to be going through all of the nodes and stuff before that and generating the images, saving them, and then using those saved images in the head.js. So what we can do is something similar. We can potentially use Gatsby. So there's this guy, Gatsby remark copy linked files. That could potentially be useful. Let's see what that plugin does and where it puts those files, because then maybe I can convince that plugin to copy files from the front matter into a new folder for just social cards and then use those in my thing. Yeah, that could work. Let's see. Go back to plugins, go look at remark copy linked files. Copy this copy. Okay, so let's see. So this one, Copies local files linked to or from Markdown in MD and MDX files, because we have it in Gatsby plugin MDX, to the public folder. When you're building your site, my awesome PDF file will be copied to the root directory, public some really long content hash, my awesome PDF. Cool. Gatsby remark, copy linked files, resolve, ignore file extensions. Where to copy files using this destination directory. Download it now, will copy file to something like blah. Content hash file name. How do I get the content hash? Destination dir advanced usage. For more advanced control, set destination dir to a function expression using properties name and or hash to specify the path. Okay. Error thrown if destination dir points outside the root directory. Custom set which file types to ignore using ignore file extensions. Okay. So it supports images and HTML tags. So what I need to make sure, I don't know if this copies front matter files. And also I don't know how I would get the content hash. Okay, so I'm still waiting for this to do its thing. Error thrown if destination dir points outside. Okay, so how do I get stuff? That's the question. Where do I get the content hash? Content hash, where do you get the content hash? Okay, actually I can check if the content hash is available in a query, but I need Gatsby to start first. So the idea is that we need to if we have the props image, we use props image. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, so this is now in progress, still going. Hello, bird. Birdo, what up? And let's see, we need to make sure that the URL that goes here is correct, which we can do by getting nodes path. So where am I installing the head? Okay, actually, you know what? We're just going to first start by console logging this. So we're going to console log props. I'm still waiting for for my Gatsby to actually start up. This reminds me, I should have been doing this on a smaller project while I'm live streaming, because that would make our life a lot easier. Yes. So right now I just basically have to wait for this to finish. Good thing at least I bought a new computer recently, so it's not dying while it's doing this. But at least I think it's not dying. Is my stream choppy? Am I like dropping frames and stuff? I think on my end it looks pretty smooth. So anyway, I'm waiting for this to start up. It's a problem. And what can I do while I'm waiting for that to start up? That's the question. Can we play around with this stuff? With the CSS maybe? So here, what if this was not visible? Oh, that's nicer. So we can take that away. There's it's a navigation bar of some sort, I think. Where are we? Layout.js. Is it in Layout.js? It should be in Layout.js. Sidebar. What if... and then we have the reactions at the very bottom. What if this box on the left was not actually visible? What does open mean? Let's see. With blah flex none stuff. So that's the navigation, which seems useful. But let's hide it for now. So if I go with display none here, that should make everything move a little bit to the left. I'm still waiting for Gatsby to start up. What are you up to, Bert? Okay. Bird seems to be now okay with me streaming and is not screaming in the background, which is nice. But I really wish this was going faster. Alright, so it's annoying because like I can't do a lot while I'm waiting for this progress thing to finish. Which could potentially be a problem when I'm writing my articles. Like if they're going to be difficult to publish, that's going to be a problem. Okay, got this. Nav. Okay, so that's the bottom navigation. That's something I can make use of better in the future. Also, do we have categories here? Title, description. I did not preserve categories in my export, did I? Let's see. How you can start using GraphQL. Yeah, see, it has the hero image, it has the old redirect. It says when it was published. It has a bunch of stuff down here. But crucially, it does not show. So that's a problem. Oh, also my stream seems to be dying. So the problem I have is that I did not preserve categories. So let's open my other project that's converting WordPress to a WordPress dump to a Gatsby Markdown, which is probably something I should blog about a little bit more or maybe productize. So WordPress to Markdown. This should have a description somewhere. So, or categories. Merge categories into and tags into tags. Okay, so we have categories. Now, what do we do with those categories? Do they make it into the front matter? The reason I need that is because I want to add navigation that lets you navigate between different content topics based on the category or the tag or whatever you want to call it. It's also weird that I did not preserve the descriptions, which is annoying. And I would open the XML that I have for my entire WordPress blog, but it is, let's see, how big is the XML for this blog? So my XML dump is WordPress to Markdown, export full. That is about 20 megs of, so 20 megs of XML, which might take a while to open and work with. But categories, do I do anything with categories? Why aren't they showing up? If categories and categories dot length is more than 0, then we push categories into the front meta, or yes, into the header. Header, title, published, redirect from, categories, author is me, hero is the hero image. So why do any of them have categories? Let's see. Git grep categories colon, because that's why I said they would be here. Categories colon in source pages blog. Okay, so they all have categories uncategorized. Wonderful. That seems useful. Why are they all fucking uncategorized? And so why do they all have no categories? Let's see. Did I actually use categories when I wrote these articles originally? And for anyone who is joining and rejoining the stream, hoping to come back at a more fun time, I'm still waiting for Gatsby to run locally. Let's see, posts. Did I use, let's see, my favorite lessons from Pragmatic Programmer. It doesn't have categories here in the export, but did I categorize it here? I did. It's under personal learning. Hey, so why does that not have categories? God damn it. Or, oh well, I am apparently very bad at using tags. Wonderful. I have a feeling I'm gonna need to hire somebody to do a lot of the annoying work on this transition. That's fair, right? Okay, so let's see what happened with these categories. Can we find the actual article in that giant XML? So I'm gonna go into cd/random coding, WordPress to Markdown, Vim export full, and we're going to look for the my favorite lessons from Pragmatic Programmer thing. It actually does not have a description. Is that true? There is actually not a description here. Okay, that's fair. No description because I suck. Why didn't I write descriptions for this stuff? And my stream seems to keep dropping in and out. So there's no descriptions, which means I'm gonna have to ask someone to generate them. That could be useful. And let's see, did I add any descriptions for Twitter or Facebook? Nope, none of those. But I did categorize it. So let's see. We have the description. So this item has a title, it has a link, publication date, permalink, false description, content. So all of this is the content. Where do the categories go when you export this shit? Shared state is incorrect state. I'm still scrolling through the article. End content encoded, and then we have post ID, post date, comment status, ping status, post name, post parent, post type, category, domain category, nice name, learning. Okay, so we do have categories. Now why the, so if, oh, interesting. It looks like I'm not able to chat on my chat room. What? Why is the chat room not posting shit? Okay, so there's definitely people online, but I'm not able to talk into my chat room. That seems weird. Let me try restarting my Restream chat. And let's see if anyone has been saying things that I have not been seeing. Does the chat room work? Will this actually manage to post? Guess we'll see. Make this a little smaller, put it on the iPad screen while I'm doing other stuff. Okay. Right, so this is still starting up, damn. But I do have categories. Now, where am I trying to get categories from the articles? Like when I'm converting the WordPress XML into whatever it's called. What was it called? Into Markdown. Here you can see that the categories are indeed defined for this article. Wow. So my chat room was not able to, I was not able to post from Restream into any chat room. That's weird. Potentially that means, okay, Mitch says thumbs up. So I guess the chat room is working. I'm just not able to post. Weird. Okay, so category, nice name. Where does it get categories when it's converting shit? Categories, categories, categories. Where are you? Categories. Categories. Post.category and post.category map. So that should be this stuff. What? Merge categories and tags into tags. So we should be getting all of the categories for the post, but for some reason it's not getting them. And how the hell do I debug this? How would I debug this stuff? We can create a fake XML file that only has, so I think my Comcast is dropping and recreating the connection a lot. I can see my stream dropping to 100 kilobytes per second and then going back up to 2 megs. The filter statement. This filter statement? Oh yeah, why is this filtering by only oh my god, thank you. Thank you, Mitch. Wow, why? So this was literally filtering for only anything that is uncategorized. That's dumb. So I'm going to remove that. Thank you, Mitch. That was a great... This is why I life coach shit like this, because it's just super useful. Okay, so we don't need that. And then what else did I say was wrong? Do any of them have descriptions? Git grep description in source pages blog. Gear is not a command. Git grep. Perfect. So one of them has a description, which means that's weird. I'm sure more of them have descriptions, except for, not just this one where I added it now, which means do they have descriptions? So if we go for one where I definitely wrote a custom description, how would I find that? Oh, success, yay. So localhost should now be running. Let's see if it is. And I'm not gonna run the script that translates my XML into Markdown right now, because that will take forever and use a lot of my CPU. But thanks, Mitch, for helping me fix that. Git commit -m, git commit -m, avoid dropping non-uncategorized categories. Okay, now what is wrong with this thing? Something is complaining on /blog. What is complaining on /blog? The above error okay. Slugify string argument expected. Are you not getting a string argument? Go back to index MDX in pages. No, the other one. Source pages blog. So this is saying that props.title is not a... Oh, right, it's not. So it's actually should I just do it by ID? By index? Yeah, let's just do it by index. I know using indexes as keys is quote unquote bad, but I don't give a shit. Okay. So this should, oh great, now please don't spend a long time rebuilding the bundle now. You just gotta update one page. So it's rebuilding the development bundle because I changed one page. And while that's happening, okay, so that's gonna take a while. Let's go find an article that has a custom description so that we can figure out, I think this one might. Did I write something here? So I need to find, yes, there we go. So this has a custom description, which means, but it's not in the XML dump yet. Okay, shelf that for a little bit, go back here and see if the blog homepage loads now. There we go, so that loaded, and we got a dump of props from the header. We said that we're going to add an introduction and some copy later, and the description also shows up. Great. So the homepage is, I'm gonna say this is mostly working. We can, should be some spacing there or whatever, but other than that, the homepage works. So I can click on my favorite lessons from Pragmatic Programmer. We get a nice title, which is wonderful. Probably should have a little bit more spacing there, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. We get Pragmatic Programmer is a book everyone should read, blah, blah, blah. This seems to work. When you code, write down everything. That also seems to work. Images load, they're kind of resized, which is not great. So all of that works. We're gonna need to add some something better to the footer. Yeah, Rook, I think that's my Comcast being silly today. It keeps dropping connection. So I'm getting throttled by the ISP. We have this stuff here. So now we gotta check the head. So if we go into elements and we look at the body head, here we can see that, first of all, we have a bunch of scripts being loaded, which is totally fine. Icons and shit, socket.io, that's for local development. A lot of style data, wow, okay. But then down here, you see we have content is, first of all, that's the Twitter image is wrong. The description is correct and the title and stuff are okay. So now we gotta fix the image. First of all, if we go into the head and we're going to console log the props. Oh, we're already console logging the props, so I can reload the page. Why is this now in progress again? So reload the page. Come on page, show me. There we go. So first of all, we have the path, which means here when we're defining the URL, we're going to use props.path to get the correct path for the so that we're using the correct URL in the down here somewhere where we put the URL in the open graph data. So that should now be fixed. If we go into the head and look for OG URL, we now have the correct URL using swizzes.com, which is not what exists yet, but step by step. Now we need to look at the props image. So if we go here, we have the page context front matter, which has the hero image. So we're going to use that hero image to do stuff. Let's see what happens. Okay, we can use props image directly if it exists. Otherwise, we're going to use if the front matter exists and front matter has the hero, then we use the front matter hero, but the URL is going to be wrong. Let's see. I think the URL is going to be wrong if we do that. So I'm going to reload the page again and then look at the head and see what happens. So the head down here somewhere, OG image, swizzes.com .image blah. That's obviously wrong. So we're gonna start by fixing that. First of all, what can we do? We can so front matter hero, front matter blah. Let's do this. Get social card from the front matter. Get social card. We say function get social card from the front matter. We're going to just take out the hero, right? And we return the hero for now, just to make sure that this is still going to create the same result with the wrong URL. Get social card is not defined. Yes. Okay, so now it got confused and it's going to rebuild everything. Wonderful. Cool. Okay, head, come on, head. Head OG image, so that's the wrong URL. See, if we go to that directly here, I don't think it's going to work. Yep, not working. So that's not a URL that actually loads. We should get a 404 page or even a complete error. Wonderful. Yep, so that completely errors out. We can go back. And now, how do we get a correct social card image from this? We're still console logging the props. Oh, come on. Please, no. Go to this one. My favorite lessons. Go back. My favorite lessons from Pragmatic Programmer. Come on. Come on, computer, you got this. Yeah. So path. We have the path. Do we have the content hash? That would be super useful. No. Location, children, page context, nav. Okay. What if, does it work if we use a relative URL here? Because if that works, then that's going to be that's going to make life a lot easier. It does not. Cannot read property published of undefined. Yes, of course you can't. Okay. Wow, what the fuck is my Comcast doing? Okay, so that doesn't work. And the 404 page doesn't work. So what can I do? We need to find what the URL for that is in the public directory. So if we look at ls public, public has a bunch of data here. So these are all the content hashes. But I don't know how to, so ls public static should be where all, yeah, that's where all of the stuff is. Can you chill it down there? No. So now how do I figure out which of these content hashes is the one that belongs to this article? Because if we look at the copy image address here, you see it has /static / a bunch of some weird data and then the URL. Are you transferring the WordPress post to rebuild the site in Gatsby? Yes. So Cloud Pilot, I have a script that exports, that takes my WordPress XML dump and turns it into a bunch of markdown files and directories, and I can then use those directly in my Gatsby site. So what I'm figuring out right now is how to make the hero images work so that when you basically so that it correctly loads the hero image based on what's defined in the front matter. And I'm having trouble figuring that out because I don't know how to get the content hash, which means I might have to go into Gatsby node and do stuff. Or, so we have Gatsby remark copy linked files. How do I make something similar that copies those linked files in a more understandable way? Because that could work. Let's see, do I have the ability to make... no. We might have to go and create a... go into Gatsby node and do stuff there. Yeah. So let's do ls source. So we have Gatsby node, which is currently empty. Yeah, it's currently empty. So we're going to, what is, okay. So I'm gonna go here and we're going to write a little Gatsby node script that copies those files to their correct. Can you change the output there? So I can change the output there, but not for every article. So I can't do it in a way that I would later know what it was, from what I can tell. Yeah, so I can't do that. I'm gonna have to go with something a little custom. But what we can do is look at the implementation of Gatsby remark copy linked files and copy it. So let's see. Source.
You want tea?
I'm okay. Advanced usage, blah, supported markdown tags. Let's go into the source and there should be index.js.
5-minute
timer. Oh, we can actually do it as a markdown extension. That would make it even easier. I think. Should we do it as a markdown extension? That could work. Okay. So where do I put, how do I make a custom plugin for this? Let's see, ls static, which is, why does static have so much stuff in it? I should probably delete those. Validate destination directory, default destination, get destination, new path, new link URL, to array, ignore file extensions. Oh, so it actually ignores images. Great. But how do we, oh, I know what we can do. We're going to go here and we're going to make a, we have source plugins, no, but we're going to make a custom extension. So we need to go into Gatsby config, and here where we have remark plugins, we're going to install, so let's see, require remark slug, and we're also going to require /source/ Cloud Pilot. What do you mean by JSON API and taxonomy and order? I don't really have problems with order of execution, not that I've found yet. And I don't want to use an API because I don't want to use WordPress anymore. So I'm not going to be publishing new articles via WordPress. I'm going to be doing them directly with Gatsby. I just need to get the old articles into Gatsby first. But after that, there's not going to be any API. So we are going to require, let's see, Gatsby. I'm going to make Gatsby remark. What should we call this? Gatsby remark social card. So I'm gonna make it a social card, and then we're gonna go from there. Gatsby remark social card, touch source Gatsby remark social card.js. We open that thing, Gatsby remark social card, and this one is going to be custom plugin that generates social cards. Take from front matter.hero by default, generate custom one otherwise. Okay, and we're gonna deal with the custom ones later. For starters, I'm going to copy this shit from here. So we're going to need const visit, we can do import visit from unist util visit. That's the okay, so we have the visit thing, then we call the, what do we need to export? I've done this before, I always forget how it works. So we say model.exports equals a function that does stuff. We're going to get markdown AST, that's what we're going to need, and that's what we can start with, and we're not going to have any plugin options here. So then we say const files to copy equals new map, then we say const, where do we visit? So I'm trying to copy what they were doing before, and that will make my life a lot easier. How do I visit all of the front matter. So if we say visit markdown AST front matter, and I guess we'll see if that works. How do I make that? How do I test this? That's going to be a problem as well, because I have a very large page. Abstract URL array return promise all. So I'm going to just return. So wait, we're visiting. So const destination dir. Yo, make it quieter. Visitor generate blah. Visit. What do we have to return in the end? We don't really have to return anything. So we can just not do anything, I guess. Let's return markdown AST just to be safe, because I think that's what people usually return. Not even. So we're not gonna return anything. I'm just gonna return true. Okay. Return true. Files to copy is going to be empty markdown AST. And here I'm going to console log the front matter, just so we can see that that's working. And in Gatsby config, where are we? Gatsby config, we have this as a remark plugin, which automatically gets added to Gatsby plugin MDX, which then means that I should be able to restart Gatsby and see what happens. The problem there is going to be that this is again going to take forever, but we should get console logs relatively quickly. There we go, it already doesn't work. Cannot use import statement outside of a module. Okay then. So we gotta say const visit equals require this one. Wow, time sure is flying today. So yarn start. I might have to do more live streams for this. It sure is taking forever. Okay, while that's running, we can go back and look for more articles with custom descriptions and hopefully figure out how to make my Let's see. This does not have a custom description. What else? Does this one have a custom description? So I'm trying to find something with a custom description to see where they go in the XML. So we have this one, okay, which means I can git grep for stuck at home in my export full, no, come on. Yeah, export full.xml ls export full.xml. So if we grep for git grep. Oh no, wait. So I need to vim into export full XML and then search for stuck at home. And let's see. Okay, we got the title. Doesn't have the description. Interesting. So where does this go to then? It's not in the description that is default for the article, but it might be in a Facebook or a whatever Yoast or whatever that is. So if I scroll down, I might be able to find it and then fix my conversion script to actually use it properly. And did this manage to run? Nope, still validating Gatsby config. I'm basically trying to see if visiting front matters like this works, and then I can change it to do stuff for the social images, for the social cards. Okay, so this is, that's some image. Then where do we have a category. That's good. Post meta. No. Aha. So it's in post meta. Meta. I don't know how to pronounce that word. And here it has some data in the meta value. But how? In Yoast meta description, or then it could be in ConvertKit metadata, open graph description, and okay. So how do I get to these descriptions in my conversion script? This is still running. So in my conversion script, what am I doing for the description? Description. What? I don't even have a description here. Process image. So description, new. Process image. Process image. Process post. No, so we have post meta. Here, this is looking for hero URLs. Okay. So we can look for the description from these things. And basically just choose one of them. Cool. So if we go const description equals post from WP post meta, right? Yes. So they're all post meta, and we have it in open graph description, in what is the other one? Meta description. Okay, cool. So if we look for post meta and then we filter each meta with if the meta of WP meta key 0 includes what? If it includes the meta desk, right? Was that what it was? Yeah. If it includes meta desk, we take that one, or if it includes what did I do? Or if it includes just saying description, because they're both open graph description or Twitter description. Or if it includes description, then that is a candidate for a description, right? We can also then add, how do I join arrays in JavaScript? Why do I always forget that? We can also just take post.description. So we take post.description and then we add all of the other ones. So those are all of our descriptions. Then we take the longest one. So Cloud Pilot, what is necessary for a foreigner to buy a motorcycle in the US? Literally, you just need to have money. So you show up at a dealership and buy a motorcycle, and that's it. If you want to have a US license, that is a little bit more involved, but they're not going to ask you for your license at the dealership. And if you have a European or any other license, you're fine to drive in most of the US, in most of the states in the US. So to buy a motorcycle, just go to the dealership or whatever and buy it. There's no limitations for being a foreigner or not a foreigner. Wow, I dropped to 44 kilobytes. Okay, so we have descriptions. We can then sort them. Sort, is it sort? Dot sort, and we take A and B, and we sort them by A dot length minus B dot length, which I think means that it's going to make AB, so it's going to make the, wait, let's just test this out. So I'm gonna open the console. Will I open the console? I will open the console. And we can say A, B, 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 and then CC. So if we sort that by AB, A dot length minus B dot length, minus B dot length. Okay, it needs to be the other way around. So to get the, come on. So that way we get the longest string first, and we're going to basically go with the longest description being the right description. So we take the first one, that's our description, and then takes the longest description candidate. Then that description will get used in our head or front matter here. Title, description becomes description, like that. Bam. Okay, so now when I run the dump, we're gonna get the description. Beginning of your migration from Word, you try to use Team Novella, but now I noticed that I switched to something custom. Yes, so Novella was great. I felt like, I thought maybe it was the reason why I had such trouble deploying my blog, and it also felt very, almost like too polished for my needs. And I've since then found a lot of great use from using the setup that I have for my, what's it called, for my course platform and stuff like that. So I decided to use the same thing for my Gatsby, for my blog as well, because I like the styling, I like the colors, and I feel like it's more down, it's like, it's simpler. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Team Novella does, and I don't think I need those bells and whistles. Okay, so there was a problem parsing everything on this file. We're not, so nothing was processed. Aha. So we get an error from what we wrote. Cool. Now the next thing I need to, okay, so, and we fix this thing here, get status, get commit minus m. We can say that we used make sure descriptions come true. Okay, got that. Now let's fix, why did this not work? What is Gatsby plugin copy doing? So module.exports. Actually, let's look at my other project, which is a Gatsby remark plugin, and maybe I can find something useful there to see what I did to get the Markdown AST and stuff like that. Oh, come on, computer. Wow. So now VS Code, I think, crashed. Yes. Great. I think VS Code is telling me that I should probably stop coding. Yeah. Why did VS Code crash? Code not responding. Die. Code die. Okay. Let's get VS Code back. Will it open? It opened. Yay. Okay. Now let's look at my Giphy Gatsby remark plugin and see what I did there to make it work. Random coding, Gatsby remark Giphy. Come on, you're way at the top. Gatsby remark Giphy. What? Come on. Index.ts. What are we exporting? Export default async function. So that should work. So why is it not working here? Let's then. And what am I returning? I'm not returning anything. So this is. No, come on, that's the wrong project. No. Did I close it? No, there it is. Gatsby remark Giphy, plugin options and stuff, and it just returns Markdown AST, which makes sense. So why is this complaining? Unhandled rejection cannot destructure property Markdown AST of undefined or null. So why is it undefined or null? We're using it here as a remark plugin, which should be fine because we're also using remark slug. And we're using remark social card. Okay. So what if this just doesn't do anything? Let's do props, console log props, and see what happens. So yarn start. This is gonna take forever again. And I see that pretty much everyone has gotten bored and left. So maybe I will continue this live coding some other time. And maybe make some progress elsewhere. Also, yeah, I don't know why my internet keeps dropping and coming back. It's quite frustrating. Okay, so we didn't make a lot of progress with what we wanted to make progress with. And I do need the social cards to actually work before I can deploy this and start using it for realsies. Let's see, what can I do? I can't make this much faster right now, which is a problem. But basically, something is wrong with how this social card plugin, this custom plugin is being used, and it's not getting the props that it needs. Yes. Do about that. Okay, I'm gonna stop live streaming for now and hopefully figure this out while I'm not boring people with long startup times on the stuff. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you again next time. Hopefully next time we're going to make much more progress much faster. Bye.